Hello everyone, in this video we'll be making this machete inspired by the Book of Eli. I made some changes to it, not exactly. This was inspired by Adam Savage's $5 sword build, same concepts, using aluminum tape, piece of scrap wood. I used duct tape for my handle, so you need some duct tape, but pretty much stuff you need have lying around. The only real tool that I would recommend you have is some kind of power sander. You can hand sand it. It'd be a total pain in the butt to do. So I hope you enjoy, and make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. Alright everyone, this is the sword I want to make. Actually, it's more of a machete. Machete from the Book of Eli. I found this blueprint online. I'm going to include a link below in case you are all interested in doing it. It includes some dimensions. I might take some liberties with it. I'm not trying to make it a prop replica. What I did have to do though is, because the dimensions are on it, I can resize it. So we actually have a working template. So all we got to do is tape these together and then cut them out. And then we're gonna resaw one of my pieces of it's like a scrap piece of 1x5, I think. We're gonna resaw that because I don't quite need the inch, and make it a little smaller so I can save myself on some sanding later. And then we're gonna cut out the template, and then we're gonna take it from there and see what happens. Alright, so I was able to finish this cut, although this is the ugliest cut I have ever made, I think. It is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and try this purple glue stick. It says for kids, came with my super glue. And if it doesn't work, then I'll just use a spray adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and use the spray adhesive. Much better. Much better. That works way better. So there we go. So now I'm going to get the rough cut of this back on the bandsaw. So there is our basic shape of the blade. Now we'll fine tune it. Pretty much we're going to be sanding the rest of this. And I'm going to use multiple sanding techniques. You'll see in a bit. Alright, with that completed, actually kind of sort of looks like it now. We did have some problems though. My bandsaw needs love, or it's just not made to do the resawing. But I don't know if you can tell. It didn't exactly come out even. Luckily, there's plenty of material left, and I had sanding to do anyways. So we're going to sand this down, and we'll see if we can fix this issue and keep going with it. If not, we'll have to try something else. We'll just have to see. But honestly, I think sanding it with my belt sander will be just fine and dandy. I'm not too worried about it. So I just want to take a quick minute, by the way, because I really am impressed with this tool here. This is my belt sander, and you know, belt sanders usually aren't that special, and maybe this one isn't. But I did some research on it. This is a Tack Life belt sander, and you know, it's their standard handheld one. I haven't been able to get one like a disc sander or something like that that I can mount. But one of the reasons I got one of these is they actually come with these clamps. These clamps actually allow it to be clamped on to a work surface. So you can use it as a stationary sander. It might not be as exact. You might not have a zero flat point when you want to get perfect 90-degree angles. But if you're on a budget, this one was a very reasonable one. And I really like it. This is one of the first tools I got, honestly, and I have put it through its paces. When I used to do pallet wood work with it, this would be my go-to for getting it smooth, because pallet wood can be really, really, really rough. So I just wanted to say, they're not sponsored. I don't have a sponsor, but it's an impressive tool. I would highly recommend it. I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. It also came with that vacuum hookup. It came with its own shop vac vacuum hookup. I didn't have to buy one separately, which also made it really nice too. Hook it right up to my shop vac, suck the dust up, and I used that one for my orbital sander too. All right, so I got everything all set, ready to go. I'm gonna focus on the terrible side first, and then I'll worry about even everything up. Well, I want to make this side even, and I think that's going to take off enough to get this other side perfect. And this side's perfect. This was the flush cut piece from the factory, so that's good. We just have to fix our stupid mistake at the bottom. Now I have my safety goggles, I got my ear protection, and I got my mouth protection. So I'm not removing as much as I thought I would as quickly. So I'm wondering if the belt that I had on previously, I've used a lot. I thought I had enough grip, but maybe I was wrong. So I'm going to try switching the belt out and take it from there. This is 80 grit, by the way. So I just wanted to stop and show you how far we've gone, how much we cleaned it up. As you can see, it's definitely getting a nice shape to it. I even started tapering the end there just because of the way it had to be smoothed out. But we're at the point where now it's going to be just shaping it. Smoothing out the spine a bit more here. And then bringing this blade down to more of a cutting edge. I'm not going for an actual cutting edge, but we definitely want to get it thinner down here. And if you look at the picture here, it's kind of a little bit solid until it gets to that bottom edge there, and it looks like it's a convex cut sharpen. So we're just going to be shaping it till we get to that point. So we got a lot of the shaping done. Now I'm going to be switching to the orbital sander with a 120 grit. I think I'm going to be able to touch it up more with that. I'm leaving this out just in case I do need it. We'll see. Alright, I think we got it. I'm happy with that. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, So I'm gonna spray paint this black now, for two reasons. Well, more like one reason. Pretty much just to help hide future crimes. Also, two, if the aluminum tape comes loose, which is what I'm planning on covering the blade with, there'll be something underneath other than the wood color. While that dries, I did hit it with the blow dryer to help accelerate it a bit. We're going to do some testing on some of the things I want to use. First thing is the aluminum tape. I've never actually used this before, but in Adam's video, he recommends it. So I'm going to give it a shot. I just kind of want to see how it puts down. And I also want to see, too, how the crease line works, because this one isn't going to be thick enough to cover the entire blade, so I might have to work with the line that's in between the two pieces. I might not. We'll just have to see. Second, I'm going to wrap it. At least this is my current plan. This might change. I'm going to wrap my handle in this leather belt. I already cut off the end pieces. I kind of like how it looks. It might be too thick or too hard to get on there, but we're going to give it a shot. I want to test it with super glue. So I took some of the scraps here. You can see this at the end, one of the ends I cut off. I got this end too, I probably won't use that. And see how it sticks with the super glue. If not, I might have to do a screw, or we might just have to ditch that plan altogether. This is really thick, so it's really hard to wrap it around, I found, because it wants to curve. And I wonder if cutting a slit in it might help. So we might try that too. So first, I got the tape here. Came with this really blue end on it. It looks almost like a liquid tape. It's kind of interesting. But we're just going to cut it off. I'll just cut this piece in half, because we don't need to cover this entire piece, but just to get an idea. And I might wrap it around the edge too. In fact, that's a good idea. I'm going to wrap it around the edge and also take a look at the crease line. So I'm just going to put that here. It actually feels like aluminum foil that you would use for cooking. You can also see the crease line too, or I shouldn't say a crease line, but the line between the two tapes. So I have an idea to work around that though. It actually might help it look cool. But let's, I'm going to try levering that in a second just to see how it goes. And I just want to see here. How this stuff, the lever works with this super glue. Out of curiosity here. So I'm just going to go for like here and put this on. accelerator. Oh yeah, that's a nice. All right, so I think this tape would work better if it was like on a double-edged sword with a straight spine down the middle of it. Uh, with this, I don't know if it's gonna work well. I experimented with it more, but I have an idea. It's gonna make it a little more difficult. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put tape down first, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try and use that seam line to accent the curve here, and the same on the other side, and then bring the other tape over top of it and match that up. I think that might work. It's going to make it really difficult, and I hope I can pull this off, because if not, it's going to look, might look terrible. I don't know. We're going to give it a shot. Ugh. So we're gonna go with the just laying it flat approach, and I'm just gonna have to make it work. All right, so some things we've learned so far is that first idea didn't work. It's just too difficult to cut it. So we're gonna have a seam line through there. Hopefully I'll be able to blend it in somehow. We'll figure that out. Also, when you get to the edge, don't try and cross over to the other side. Or if you do, just do the top. Don't try and do this side, because yeah, it was just looking terrible. And I ended up ripping it back off. But I don't know how this is going to turn out right now. I'll be honest with you. I'm worried, but we're going to keep going with it. I'm just going to take a break, and we're going to start doing the other side. Break time's over. All right, so that's what it looks like so far. Like I said, I'm kind of worried how it's gonna come out, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Now, give me a minute to clean up here. I'm gonna jump right into weathering because I think weathering is what's gonna make the difference here. All right, so here's what we got so far. That seam line is really bugging me, but there's not much I can really do about it. It definitely looks like it's beat up, but it doesn't, like, it sits to me like it doesn't have an edge. So I'm just gonna grab my scrap piece here. What I'm thinking is maybe some rub and buff. Now this stuff's awesome for making stuff look metallic like. I might have to do some around the edges, but you don't use a lot of it. Very, very little bit. In fact, I'm just gonna. You know what? It actually does give a bit of a serrated look. I like that. I'm gonna keep going with that. Might have to weather again a bit more. That's okay. Yeah, that worked actually well, giving it an edge look. I'm just gonna say it again because I can. So we're gonna do it over here too. So I will say at this point, I don't know if I'm really making this a book of Eli's anymore. I just like the shape and stuff like that. It's not perfect. I'm just trying to think of ways to improve it. The handle, I think I'm gonna skip the belt since it looks like it's so beat up. I think I'm gonna use duct tape. Yeah, duct tape. Why not? In fact, See, I'm just creating little marks there. Make it look like it's been through something. So I'm gonna just tape this up, and I think we're done. So I bet all of you are wondering why duct tape. Well, in a post-apocalyptic world, if I lose a handle, I might use duct tape. So based on my picture here, it looks like this has gotten smaller. Let's see here. So I'm just going to use these real quick as a point of reference. Are you kidding me? I swear that bit was tight. Well, that might have screwed it up. Now I got something to fix again. So if you're gonna do this, make sure you drill those before you put the aluminum through. I didn't really consider it a blowout, and that's my fault. It's okay. I wanted it to look beat up, and I've been beating it up, and now it's just more beat up. So here's our completed build. I must say I took a sneak peek. This looks really good in the camera. Really good. In real life, it looks great too. I really had to make it dirty to make it look like a real sword. And this crease line here, it bugs me. It really does. This aluminum tape, oh, it does a trick. It really does. It's a nice, cheap, easy way to give it a metallic look. I think this is more meant for those, like, if you were going to do a double-edged sword, that crease during up the middle, that would be the best bet for it. I don't think it's really meant for something this big. Like, for this to really work, that piece of tape would have had to cover this. And I guess I could have made it smaller, but I did. So that's something we learned. I'm also happy that I did the duct tape wrap. Nice simple solution, made it look worn down. And this really does look like a blade from the apocalypse right now. It looks like it's been through nuclear fire and dirt and grum, and somebody's fixed it a bunch of times, and it's been in battles. And it swings right too. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you try your own. You know, this was a piece of scrap wood. Really, what you need is you're going to need a sander of some sort. You can hand sand it. It's going to be, I won't lie, I think it's going to be a pain in the butt. But you can hand sand it. But sander of some sort, the aluminum tape, which you have a ton of extra for. So if you have some in the house, you know, you can use that. Or you can go pick some up. Uh, what else? Duct tape. I have the black duct tape. If this was, I don't know if I'd want to use gray or anything like that, but if you have the black duct tape, you can do that. You can always paint it and stuff like that too. And just some acrylic paint. You know, that's the part I use to make dirty. The rub and buff you don't really need. I added a bit just to make sure that edge of the blade stands out more. But that was pretty much it. Just, you know, a piece of scrap wood and an idea. So I hope you enjoy. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And if you make your own, make sure you share it. And make sure you go check Adam's video too. Adam is an amazing guy. He's the one who inspired me to make this video. You know, he said, give it a shot on your own. I never used it before, so why not? And he has been doing that for years, using the aluminum tape. So he is a little bit more of an expert than I am on it. So I hope you all stay safe and be well. Take care.